Welcome back to another episode of Smooth Operator Trucking, where we create the dream 1 mile at a time. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I did as an owner-operator in the month of February in 2026, and we're getting started right now. One of the things that I try to do is a monthly and quarterly update on how I'm doing as an owner-operator with real owner-operator numbers. So if you're interested in becoming a truck driver or an owner-operator, or you're a current owner-operator right now, keep watching to the end because this video is definitely for you. In the month of February, I ended up doing 8 loads. My highest grossing load was from Greenville, North Carolina to Aurora, Illinois. $2,538.36 on 926 miles at $2.74 a mile. My best paying load per mile for the month of February was Franklin, Indiana to Clarksville, Tennessee. That load paid $1,141.02 for 285 miles at $4 a mile. My total gross for the month of February was $10,445.50. Now, that's really not a lot. I didn't run as hard as I should have for various reasons, but you know, it still worked out pretty nicely. You kind of want to measure, you know, probably doing 10,000 miles a month, hopefully maybe doing $20,000 gross or more a month. But for the month of February, by me only doing 8 loads and only grossing $10,445, it actually turned out still to be a profitable month. Total booked miles for the month of February was 3,671 miles. My paid miles for the month of February was $2.85 per mile. My actual all-in miles for the month of February was 5,103 miles. My net per mile rate after deadhead and after all the miles included was $2.05 per mile. So this is 5 cents above what my goal is. If you guys heard me talk about my previous videos, my cost per mile usually fluctuates somewhere around $1.50, $1.51. All right. So anything over that is considered a profit. My goal for this year is to try my best to stay above $2 a mile net after deadhead and all miles. And so for the month of February, I was able to do that at $2.05 per mile. For February, I deposited $7,796 into my cash flow account. All that money does not belong to me. I paid myself a salary, and the rest of it went into maintenance account and tax account. I used 769 gallons in the month of February on fuel. My fuel cost was $2,442.35 or 48 cents per mile. Trailer payment or rental fee was $675 for the month of February or 13 cents per mile. Insurance was $238. All insurance was $238 or 5 cents per mile. LCN, satellite, or ELD was $39 at 1 cent per mile. Repairs and parts, $283.17 or 6 cents per mile. Cell phone was $400 or 8 cents per mile. Card load was $14. That was negligible, so doesn't even show up on the per mile. I spent $44.25 on scales or 1 cent per mile. I spent $145.22 on tolls or 3 cents per mile. Office supplies for the month of February was $306.78 or 6 cents per mile. Miscellaneous operating expenses for the month of February was $443.48 or 9 cents per mile. And most of that entails payroll cost. My total operating cost for the month of February was $5,204.25 or $1.02 per mile. Personal expenses, I spent $445.86 on food and beverage, or 9 cents per mile. I paid myself $4,050 in the month of February, or 79 cents per mile. So my personal cost was $4,495.86. So my total cost, operating costs and personal costs for the month of February was $9,700.11, or $1.90 per mile. 40 cents above my average, per mile cost. However, I did pay myself a little more than I normally do, and on top of that, I only ran 5,000 miles. Typically speaking, the more miles you run, the lower your costs are. Typically speaking, the lower your fixed costs are anyways. So that usually tends to lower your costs. Month of February, let's see here. Overall, my net per mile was $2.05, and my total operating cost was $1.90. So pretty much a 15-cent per mile profit. So for the month of February, I profited $755.39. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's after all of my expenses and after I've paid myself. I don't understand when a lot of guys calculate their costs, they don't include themselves as an expense. You are an expense, and to me, you have to calculate that in your cost. So what I'm hoping so far, March has been a pretty good month also. If I can end out the month of March on a good note, and hopefully, I'm hoping that it'll make up for the major loss that I had in January, and so having a okay month in February and then having a good month in March, I'm hoping that the first quarter I will end up breaking even, or maybe even turning a profit. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that you gained value out of it. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button and consider subscribing. And like I always say, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Hard times don't last, hard truckers do. And last but not least, stay smooth, my friends. If you enjoyed this video, check out some of these other videos of mine.